This past academic year, I had the opportunity to study abroad in England as part of a year exchange my school offered for students part of my program, which I was very excited for. I had a ton of fun while I was there. I got to experience and see so many new things, but because of this, it's not only been a while since I've been home, but also quite some time since I last saw my plants. I entrusted their care into the hands of my littlest sister, as we share a room already, and my plants have always been something that she's just been very interested in. I think overall she did really well, especially considering the amount of plants I've had, and this is her first time ever taking care of them. Oddly enough, the one casualty there was, it happened to be one of the easier plants to take care of, but again, overall, she did quite well. Today, though, I decided to tackle this, starting by cutting off any of the dead or dying leaves and removing anything my sister added. I found quite a few little accessories and random objects added into their pots or onto their leaves. Some of these items were removed before I decided to film this process, but there were quite a few of these interesting little clay creatures hanging about. After I cleaned up the plants a bit by removing some of their dead leaves, anything my sister added like the clay creatures or sticks, I decided that it would be fun to propagate a few of my plants, not only to simply have more of them, but also to help fill out some of the plants that died back a bit more. My string of bananas and pothos plants, for example, were doing quite well overall, but I wanted them to be a bit more full on the top as they were looking a little bit sparse. This process was relatively quick, so once I was finished with that, putting them in their individual jars or in the dish, I decided to give all my plants a good watering using both overhead watering and the bowl method. This process took quite a bit of time, but was very much needed. Once I was done with this process, I decided to attempt to repot my peace lily into a smaller container. Truthfully, I'm not entirely sure what happened, as not only was it huge before leaving, but I feel like I remember it consisting of 3 of these little root bases instead of just 1. Because of this though, I felt it might do better in a smaller container, which just so happened to be this jar, and it's doing alright now. Could definitely be better, but not terrible. After about a week, I could see that the cuttings I was propagating were doing quite well. All of them had roots forming and new growth. Because of this, I decided I wanted more, and I put some on my desk, which I really like the look of. I used some graduated cylinders that I had laying around and put the cuttings in there. I really like how it brings some greenery over to that corner of the room, and as a STEM major, I love how it looks with the graduated cylinders as the containers.